Even though the WNBA have in some ways been trailblazers in this current time when it comes to social matters, it's not perfect right now. They're going through something right now with the Dream, the Atlanta Dream, and Senator Kelly Loeffler, the co-owner of the Dream. She wrote to the league and expressed her opposition to Black Lives Matter movement. And listen to what she wrote. She wrote, "I adamantly oppose the Black Lives Matter political movement, which has advocated for defunding the police, called for the removal of Jesus from churches, and the disruption of the nuclear family structure, harbored anti-Semitic views, and promoted violence and destruction across the country. I believe it is totally misaligned with the values and goals of the WNBA and the Atlanta Dream, where we support tolerance and inclusion." So naturally, WNBA players, the Players Union, and plenty of others jumped on Twitter to respond to Loeffler. Amin, what's your response?
Man, there's so many different ways I can go, but I'm gonna start with the ending. She said tolerance and inclusion.
Yeah.
And yet she, in the last couple of weeks, has posted a video in support of a group that is very publicly known as an anti-LGBTQ kind of outfit. And when you talk about anti-LGBTQ, you're talking about anti-equal rights for all citizens here. But more specifically, you're talking about something that impacts the WNBA in a way that I don't know of any other employer in America, if not the world, that has as many employees who are LGBTQ, right? It is so double side, speaking out of both sides of your mouth, huge blinds, but I don't know what you want to call it, but it's, if it weren't so damaging, it would be hysterical. And the other thing about this, why this case, this particular owner of this franchise is all the more damning, is because she's not just some rich person, right? It's not like when we were holding Jim Dolan to the fire for not wanting to comment on Black Lives Matter. It's not even like Donald Sterling saying the N-word on a tape, right? This person is an elected official. She's a senator, meaning she has direct access to how laws and legislation are made in this country and how we as a people, through the legal system, through government, treat others, minorities, right? People who are gay, people who are Black, people who are Hispanic, right? She has a direct line into the pipeline that most, if not every other NBA owner. Is Senator Herb Kohl still a senator? Is he still an owner? I don't know. But other than him, every other NBA owner doesn't have that kind of access that she does. And so that makes it doubly damning for her to say these things, which are incredibly hurtful and divisive. And basically everything she accused Black Lives Matter of being, that is what she represents.
And there's talk that this rhetoric is because she's trying to get reelected. There's been a lot of reaction. Before I continue on with some of the tweets from the WNBA, what are your thoughts?
Get out of here. Get out of here. That's my exactly thought. Straight up. Get out of here. Now, because guess what? If she comes out publicly and makes that statement, I can only imagine what she's saying behind closed doors. So she's showing us who she really is. And here it is, the WNBA have been on the front line before all sports, in my opinion. I'm going back to the first time where the Liberty, right? They were the ones that first came out with the shirts, and then the NBA, the players, the NBA piggybacked off of them, just so y'all know, right? But I got a problem because she needs to be out. This is not the time for that statement. Here it is, multiple WNBA players have stepped out on the front line. Maya Moore and everyone else have been taking action and preaching how important Black Lives Matter. And then when we're asking for white people with power to come out and speak out on our defense in the good way for change, she comes out and does the complete opposite. Get out of here, because if she's making this public statement, I can only imagine what she's saying behind closed doors or in her house or how she really feels. That's how I feel about it.
That's how you feel about it. That's how the WNBA feels about it, because that's what they tweeted enough out, which included the article about Loeffler opposing the WNBA's plan to spread the Black Lives Matter message. Meanwhile, the WNBA issued a statement Tuesday saying that the WNBA is based on the principle of equal and fair treatment of all people, and we, along with the teams and players, will continue to use our platforms to vigorously advocate for social justice. Senator Kelly Loeffler has not served as governor of the Atlanta Dream since October 2019, is no longer involved in the day-to-day business of the team, Amin.
To me, that is the cop-out. Right there, that's a cop-out. The first part of the statement is great. We're supporting our players. We stand for these rights and ideals. Once she starts, and she's not even really like that with us. Like, no. She in the group. She in the gang. She on the bus with y'all.
Right.
So either you kick her off the bus or you address that situation head on. But don't try to minimize it because she's quote unquote not day-to-day. And it's not like she hasn't been day-to-day for 10 years. She hasn't been day-to-day since when? October 2019? Oh, so she hasn't even finished a year. Yep. I'm pretty sure that these feelings did not just erupt out of her recently. Like, if you say these kinds of things, you probably felt that way for quite a while. So to me, I want to see the WNBA take ownership, take leadership here and say unequivocally, yes, this is a person in us and we're going to deal with this situation. Whether it's her retracting and changing her statement, whatever, or eventually a parting of ways. But don't minimize it like, oh no, I can't, like, you know how like you roll with somebody and then they get in a fight and they're like, yo, that's your man, right? Like, I mean, like, I kind of know him. I don't really know him like that. Like, you can't do that. You can't roll like that in a situation like this.